In 2017, the Philadelphia Flyers held the second overall pick for just the first time since 2007, and they had the chance to snag one of two players. Nico Hischier and Nolan Patrick were projected to go 1 and 2 headed into the draft. The only problem was, no one knew who would get taken first overall. For the majority of the 16-17 season, scouts had Nolan Patrick from the Brandon Wheat Kings going first overall, but as draft day came closer and closer, more mock drafts and rankings had Nico Hischier from the QMJHL going ahead of Patrick. Why? Well, both had incredible seasons leading up to their draft years, with Hischier posting a dominant 86 points and Patrick a year prior posting 102. However, what had scouts banking higher on Nico was mainly due to one thing: injuries, a word that would later haunt Patrick as his NHL career took off. Patrick had to undergo a double hernia surgery, which concerned scouts, causing him to only play in 33 games and record 46 points during his draft year. But some scouts still had him going first overall, so at pick number 2, the Flyers would essentially get whichever player didn't get selected, which at the time was fine by them, as getting someone who was projected at 1 to fall down to 2 seemed like a steal if possible. Well, draft night came, and it was all up to New Jersey to determine who Philadelphia gets at 2.
With our first selection in the 2017 entry draft, the New Jersey Devils are proud to welcome, from the Halifax Mooseheads, Nico Hischier.
For Nico, this was huge, as he was the first player out of Switzerland to be taken first overall. For Patrick, however, this had to have hurt. Regardless, Philadelphia couldn't resist happily selecting him second overall.
Philadelphia selects from the Western Hockey League's Brandon Wheat Kings, Nolan Patrick.
Do you think he goes first overall, or was it the injury that made him drop?
Well, I certainly think he would have made it a much more interesting battle, no question.
For many, Patrick was considered the future of the Flyers franchise, so all eyes were on Patrick to see if he really could have gone first overall. Through his first 8 games, Patrick posted 3 points, scoring his first career goal 4 games in against the Predators.
Now Weiss getting toward the net, now it deflects just wide. Weiss got it back out in front, Patrick, he scores! Goal number 1 for Nolan Patrick!
5 days later, the Flyers were set to face off against the Anaheim Ducks, and this would be the game that would change everything.
He's going to have to deal with Logan Shaw. They cancel each other out. Patrick's back, knocked down, stolen, and the shot by Wagner from the side angle stopped. Patrick's slow, he's hurt.
He is not doing all that well.
Patrick would leave the game and would miss a total of 9 games before eventually finishing his rookie year. His Flyers would make the playoffs, but were an easy out against Pittsburgh. While Patrick was training that offseason, he felt odd. He reported signs of feeling headaches and his overall performance dropping. He would initially get diagnosed with a quote, upper body injury, but it would later be revealed by a neurologist that Patrick was suffering from migraines, diagnosing him with a rare migraine disorder, one that Flyers general manager Chuck Fletcher insisted had nothing to do with hockey. This diagnosis was heartbreaking and would go on to play a major factor in Patrick's unfortunate downfall. Patrick began skating with the team again during February of 2020 and hoped to play before the end of the season. But when the year got cut short due to the virus and the NHL started up again, Nolan wasn't listed on the Flyers training camp roster. The following year, he cleared all medical protocols and was cleared to play again. But after missing significant time with the team, 650 days to be exact, his numbers took a massive hit, only producing 9 points in 52 games. The reason why he didn't play in all 56 games was due to Patrick taking a shot to the ear by his own teammate Felipe Myers, a name that will appear later, and an injury many feared would enhance his headaches. When asked about his performance, Patrick stated that, quote, he came behind the 8 ball. He was clearly disappointed in himself and knew he could do more. Come the 2021 draft, the media suggested that perhaps Patrick needed a change of scenery to increase his production, and the Flyers thought so too, trading Patrick in a 3-way trade to Vegas, acquiring Ryan Ellis from Nashville, who would get you guessed it, Felipe Myers. And you can't forget Cody Glass. All eyes were yet again on Patrick to see how he would do in a new environment. Most were hoping that he could finally catch a break, but sadly, once again, luck was not on his side. Last season, Vegas was gutted due to the injury bug, with a lot of their stars getting sidelined with injuries, and Patrick fell victim as well. On October 24th, he would get placed on LTIR with an undisclosed injury. Then, once returning on New Year's Eve, he would have to miss more games due to catching COVID. And after missing almost half the season, when he did finally come back, what happened next could have been the final straw for Patrick's career.
Nolan Patrick.
Oh, McKinnon with the interference there on Patrick.
And he's still down.
This hit was massive, striking Nolan right in the head, causing him to leave the game due to a concussion. He would be out until March, where an attempt to play again failed, leaving in a game against Nashville where he would miss the remainder of the season. Patrick only played in 25 games last season, recording just 2 goals and 5 assists. As of now, Patrick is still a member of the Golden Knights, but his days in the NHL seem to be numbered. A little over a week ago, at the time of recording, Vegas general manager Kelly McCrimmon stated that Patrick would miss the entire upcoming season with a back injury. And with this contract being set to expire after this season is over, many are left to wonder what will happen next, and how much longer does Patrick have? It's truly terrible to see how much injuries derailed a once promising career, and at the young age of 24, one can hope that at least one team would still take a chance on him. It's widely agreed on that Patrick's migraine disorder is credited to his injuries, but the amount of times he's suffered hits to the head is enough to make an almost 3-minute video compilation on the matter. We have yet to see a completely healthy season from Patrick, and at this rate, who knows if we will. Nico Hischier was able to live up to the hype, becoming the Devils' captain and a great playmaker, but he was also able to remain healthy for the majority of his NHL career. Call me crazy, but those who are calling Patrick a bust should perhaps wait it out just a little longer, because maybe, just maybe, we can see flashes of that two-way talent who once made headlines re-emerge if healthy.